Alright everyone, welcome back to another Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes video with Fat Phil. And today we've got the Gungan team. Actually, you know what? Yeah, we got the Gungan team. So we're going to do Gungans without Jar Jar Binks at the Relic 7. We're going to max the crate. So for this raid attempt, it is a little bit challenging because there is a lot of remodding involved. I'll show you guys the mods we put on these guys. Overall, the big thing here is just alternating your waves between a counter wave and an AoE wave and making sure that we're kind of getting ready with your cooldowns, that you want to get through your cooldowns so that way you can start off the next phase with the right moves and really kind of get going. Like some of those phases you'll see in some of the later waves, you do your moves and the enemy doesn't take a turn. So let's give a huge shout out to the channel members for their continued support. If you're ever interested, that link's down below. More importantly, along with a link to the Discord server, go check it out, guys. The Discord is where all the best information is, at least that I think. But great community there. I can't thank you guys enough for being a part of it. You all are fantastic people. Let's get into this video on the Gungans. Whoop. Why is it saying start game? Where's my game at? Come on now. There we go. Alright, so we're going to be using Gungans here without Jar Jar. So no Jar Jar Binks yet. We're just going in with a 4-man team, and we're going up at the Relic 7 tier. That is something to note here. Got all of mine at Relic 7, so this is the tier we use them at. In terms of the mod loadouts that we use, so for Boss Nass, where are we at? Naboo Raid Gungans. So for Boss Nass, I'm taking mods off of a bunch of different characters, and we make him super fast, right? We just try to make him as fast as humanly possible. Otherwise, protection, right? Fast and protection. For Captain Tarples, we go a bit crazy. We pull as many offense mods off as possible. We ramp his damage up, give him a good bit of speed. Definitely loses some protection, but he gains a ton of offense, and that's what we like. Then we're going to go to Bombardier. Actually, hold on. I forgot that I forgot for Bombardier, I actually used the mod set that I use for Tarples. I forgot I switched that up because this one is a little bit faster, you guys will see. That's a health mod. That's not going to work. Oh, well. It works. Let's go over here. It's what I've been using for them, and it works out just fine. So for Tarples, I use Bombardier's set, and it is a little bit slower. But again, they both give a ton of offense. And then for Phalanx, I haven't found speed overly important here. I just like to make him thick, you know, with as much defense as I can find on him. Just kind of be the tank of this team. So for wave 1 here, I guess our shield generator gets to move first. And we're going to start off with, who is this? This is Captain Tarples. So I think we're just going to go and call you to assist. I don't want to do anything crazy yet here. Okay, so now what we can do, so we're going to start off with an AoE phase. We're going to come in with that AoE attack. Then we're going to come in with this one. And then we're just going to basic. And that's wave 1, right? So that worked out really nicely there. Going to target this Droideka and just delete it. Perfect. Okay. So now we're going to go here and give out, I think this is our counter attack. And we're just going to try and counter as many of these guys to death here in phase 2. I should have targeted the other guy. Oh, well. Okay. We can use an AoE with this guy because it'll help us out here, right? We gave them all riposte, which is perfect. So when they attack out of turn, they're going to take some damage, which they do a lot of attacking out of a turn. All right, so now we're just going to kind of clean up this phase and save the other AoEs. Gungan Phalanx, I kind of use his AoEs pretty sparingly because you normally won't need him in those AoE phases. We can kind of just let him do his thing here. So here we use that ability, and then we're just going to target this dude and try and take him out. And we'll go ahead. We'll call Bombardier to assist. Yep, we'll do that. Jeez, once we get through this guy, we should be in better shape. those first two waves are a little bit awkward in terms of like the timing of some of your abilities. We'll just do the middle one here. I don't need massively overpowered yet. So there we go. Perfect. We're going to go ahead, call that in. And so the reason you want Boomadeer to go before Tarples is because of the protection disruption. So now they don't have protection, and you can just start deleting people left and right. It's a great system. So then we'll do... because he's got ability block, so he can't use that. And there we go. So now we have our counterattacks going into this phase. And we'll actually lead off with a Boss Nass AoE, just kind of get some extra damage out on the field. And we'll get rid of that and use our Buff Dispel. We'll keep that going because I don't want... we'll get rid of this Droidica. And hopefully we just get enough counterattacks going here. There we go. Perfect. So there we lost our counters, but Boss Nass should get them back for us, so we'll be in good shape once he gets a turn here. So we'll just wait. We'll get... Again, like I said, with Phalanx, you can kind of feel good that you can take those... you know, you can kind of use the Phalanx AoEs and even Boss Nass a little bit. If you can use them in some of those other phases just to kind of get ahead, it's a very nice benefit. So again, we're not going to use the AoEs, right? We want to save that for going in for the next phase. So we're going to get stuck behind this guy till we can get his protection to go down, which of course it's not. So here, this is the one time where it can get a little frustrating, where you get stuck behind a Droidica because your Tarples isn't getting the assists. It's okay. Like, we'll make it through. Okay. Basic that guy down. Okay, now we can use that, and that should... Oh my gosh, of course it freaking dodged. Like, talk about the luck. Let's go here. Okay, Tarples can do that. Thank you. Jeez, we've wasted so much of our enraged time here. All right, we're going to use that AoE. Come on, man. Just the healing is insane on this. Come on. Jeez Louise, dude. I can't take much more of this. I might just have to back out if I'm going to get stuck here. Thank you. So we used a lot of enrage here, which is not good because I need that for like some of my other phases. Keep going. Alright, so now let's see who gets the first turn. Of course, Boomadeer gets this one. It's not what I wanted. I'll just use this. I would have much preferred somebody else. Okay, there we go. Perfect. Lead us off. Come through with that. Let's just use this and delete you. All right, let's give out our... Let's give out this. Okay, he's deleted. Good. So now let's go after that Droidica, and then let's give that out. Perfect. So now this is looking better. We're getting some counterattacks in, kind of deleting the wave as is. There we go. So this is how you want those counter waves to go, where like that command droid isn't taking those early turns to do that. So command droid took his turn, so now we've got to kind of get our ducks in a row here. And I think unfortunately we're gonna like just miss out on a max score here because they're gonna hit enrage. And we're not going to be able to, we're going to have to restart here. Go there. Yeah, so they're at rage now, so we're not going to be able to score max, which is okay. So we're just going to back out, right? You can see the concept was working. It's just we got stuck behind that Droideka for too long. And when that happens, I wanted to see if I could make it through. I should have just kind of called it a day. So now we're going to go in. Start off with our AoEs. Start it off here. And hit that up. Alright, so now let's see if we can delete Droideka. Droidekas, again, are always going to be your biggest enemy. And, I mean, that's a perfect, again, that's that, like, perfect example of just, like, absolutely ridiculous. Like, it took the first turn. How are you supposed to stop that? You know, you can't stop it, and that sucks, right? Because now we're going to be here a while because we would have gotten through this with those counterattacks. But we got to do what we got to do. Did it just dodge that? Like, oh my gosh. And the other thing is, too, you got to keep it on, like, your shield generator, that it's not going down, and so this turns into a mess. Okay, let's do that. Again, you don't want to use AoEs in back-to-back turns, because that's just a disaster. Yeah, all right, I'm just going to retreat this. Like, this is where you're going to I hate this mechanic so much. Wish we'd just leave my team the same. So this is where you've just got to raid smarter. If it's not going well, just back out. Like, you don't want to play through something for, you know, how long. So here we started, look, we're starting with Tarpals. So then we're just going to do this. We're going to try and get our turnaround so that way we can get it to Boomadeer. And basic our way through. So now hopefully this time the command droid doesn't start off its turn with the Dispel. Okay, there we go. Nice, Tarpals. Good hit. Yep, get the riposte out. That's a very... I like that... I do like that riposte early because it does kind of at least help us out with the damage a little bit early on. So we'll drop this. Okay, drop that. Oof. All right. We got to get rid of this thing before it gets too far gone. Go. Okay. Let's just delete. Now, it does suck that that ended on Boomadeer, but it is what it is. We'll go with the middle ability. Let's just save our counterattacks. Okay, hit this up. Call in Tarpals. Boom. There we go. Alright, let's see if we can delete a Droideka. Thank you. And let's put our counterattack back up. Go. Good counterattacks there again. It's nice when Boomadeer gets that, like, final assist. You can kind of feel, like, it's nice because, like, that, like, look at that. Like, he's still alive there, and you're like, oh, gosh, like, it's going to heal back up by the time I get back around to that droid. And we could potentially get stuck behind that Droideka, but hopefully we kind of get some plays going on here. So let's just get rid of this other B1 here while we can. Ooh, you know what? He is open. Okay. There we go. Got Droideka out. That's a much better start. Okay. Okay, call you. Of course, you call Phalanx and not somebody who actually deals damage, because, like, why would that, why would we call people who deal damage? Alright, so, go up here. So I think this time, we'll just do this. Let's save that. Jeez. Okay, good. Yep. Let's call you. Let's call you. And get that out of the way. Beautiful. Alright, can I delete a Droideka? Thank you. Alright. Nice. Good. Counterattack. So you guys can see, I think you guys are seeing now the, the way the counterattack phases are supposed to work, kind of. Right? That you're just going to kind of kill them because the whole team is counterattacking at once because you've got Retribution. And this is a stark contrast to the Luminara team, where the Luminara team, you're kind of at the whim of, am I going to get any kind of counterattacks because I have a 40% chance instead of the 100% chance that Retribution brings. Again, we do want to target the Droidekas first. As you guys have seen, they can kind of cause complications. So the other thing you have to keep an eye on is your shield generator. Every single time they do those AoEs, as good as it is for us to get the counterattacks, it is problematic for our shield generator. So we want to keep our shield generator alive as long as humanly possible. Alright, so now we're here. Alright, so now we're going to use, I think we got the last one. Just use our basics. We don't need to go crazy with the counterattacking yet. We don't need to go crazy with that yet, because I can just call you. And that's the other thing. You always want to, like, call Tarpals if you can. And there we go. Everybody just kind of melts in front of us. I would say that's the system we want to use. So there we've got our counter up. And you guys will probably see that we will lose our shield generator here. Let's target this Droideka. We lost of course we lost it. So, gonna have to get that back at some point. Or we're just, so now in this phase, I think this though is the final phase here. So at this point, you can kind of just use any ability that you need in order to take turns, right? Like you guys are seeing the shield generators kind of going bye-bye here real soon. So we'll get all those buffs off. And we're just going to, we do want to still kill the Droideka first. Droidekas are the most annoying thing to us in the world. Okay, Phalanx, of course, doesn't do it, because why would my Phalanx help me out like that? And it's the one that assists twice. Alright, so now we lost the shield generator. We're getting our bonus turns here. So this is when things get dicey. This is when you got to be, this is clench time. Can we get this over the hump, right? That's protection disruption is not what we needed. But we came in clutch with a dispel. Alright, I should have an AoE ready with Boomadir. Come on. There we go. And that is game, set, match, my friends. So right there, perfect way to get your Gungans. Perfect excuse to get Gungans up early. 1.8 million. We're keeping that. So, a pretty solid run. You guys saw I had to get a couple of restarts in there, but nothing out of the ordinary, right? That's pretty standard for a Gungan run without Jar Jar. I'd say with Jar Jar, and that's no Omicron either. With Jar Jar, you're probably looking at a very easy, you don't need to restart anymore. So, like, subscribe. Love you all. May the Force be with you, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers, my friends.